Welcome, sales and marketing pros, to Making Sales Social, coming to you from the Social Sales Link virtual studios. I'm Bob Woods of the aforementioned Social Sales Link, otherwise known as the LinkedIn Sherpa, and I'm joined by fellow social selling authority, trainer, and consultant, aka the LinkedIn Whisperer, Bryn Tillman. How you doing today, Bryn?
Hi, Bob. I'm in a really good mood today. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, same here, same here. Welcome to Making Sales Social Live, as we share LinkedIn and social selling training, strategies, and tips that will have an immediate impact on your business. Join Bryn Tillman and me, Bob Woods, every week. Making Sales Social Live. This is the recorded version of our weekly Making Sales Social Live show. So normally I welcome B2B sales and marketing pros to this podcast. Makes sense because LinkedIn and social selling are tailor-made for business to business or B2B sales. Brent and I talk a whole lot about them, but LinkedIn and social selling can be used effectively for B2C or business to consumer sales as well. This is a great topic because it's helpful to a wide community of business development professionals that we normally don't talk to, but we should be talking to you all. So today, welcome B2C sales pros. And we love our B2C peeps, right, Bren?
We do. In fact, we have an enormous group, especially in the professional services world, that does share that their business is the B2C world. And, we've really helped them grow their business. So why not teach the world? If you're B2C, here are some things you can do.
Exactly. So first of all, let's talk real quick about just how B2C works on LinkedIn and any real differences, subtle or otherwise, between B2C and B2B on LinkedIn and in social selling.
Yeah, well, let's start with whether you're B2B or B2C. This is the place to start the conversation, not to make the sale.
Right.
So you have to think in terms of, I want to get a conversation going where I can bring real value, and that, I start trust-based conversations without being salesy. So no matter what you are doing in sales, you want to come from that perspective. The next thing you want to do is really focus on referral partners, growing a strong base of people that you feel comfortable referring and that you earn the right to get referrals from them. Right. So let's start with financial advisor. I sell to families. That's it. I don't sell. It's not business owners necessarily, although they do have families. So that's a story for another day. But if you're really like, I work with families primarily. Well, what other trusted advisors are those families working with? They're working with CPAs. They might have estate attorneys that they work with. So the goal then is to build a very strong center of influence network. You're not necessarily fishing with a pole, prospect by prospect. You're fishing with a net, networking.
Yes.
By creating, and that's where I don't know if that's where networking came from. Why not?
I think so.
There you go. Well, if not, we just decided it.
Exactly.
So and building those relationships, which is a B2B play on LinkedIn, will lead to B2C business.
Exactly. And one of the really cool things about LinkedIn and social selling, it's something that I want to tap into a little bit, especially because one of the things that you need to do, just like with B2B, is shift your LinkedIn profile from a resume to a resource. And there's all kinds of general things that we're going to talk about real quick with that. But one of the things that I want to tap into what Bryn just said is financial advisors. And you can plug your own business into this probably pretty easily, no matter what you're in. So with that, Bryn said, a particular financial advisor may be interested in families of any kind, because with a major client that we have, I do the profile makeovers for them. They come to me and I'm sorry.
I said with them.
With them. Yes, with them, for them, working with them, 100% working with them. But
You do an
well,
amazing, amazing job, because I work with them next and I get on, I'm like, good job, Bob.
yes, yeah, definitely appreciate that. One of the things though, which is really cool about LinkedIn, you can really target your audience because some of these people come to me and they're like, I only work with business professionals, business owners who are approaching retirement, or people who are already in retirement, or people who are just starting out, families or individuals. You can imagine how people can slice and dice the target audience of prospects that they are looking for. You can do the same thing with yours and with your efforts on LinkedIn. And all of that starts with your profile and with not only how you build it, but with the educational resources that you can provide. You really turn it from a resume to a resource, but a resource that targets the audience that you are specifically looking for. And that's how you get, that's a big part, I should say, of how to start those sales-based conversations without being salesy.
So I love it. I'm going to yes and I'd love for you to yes and at the end of my yes and, because I don't think we've talked about this much, but it just came to my head as we're talking about this. If, let's say, you partner with other trusted advisors, and that is who you're really focusing on, would you, and I'm asking you as the really, it's a yes and with a question for your insights, would you potentially say partnering with trusted advisors of individual and of individual and family, or trusted advisors who work with wealthy families?
100%.
Okay. So
100%, I would do that. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Keep going on that, because I don't have it totally formulated in my head.
Yeah. It's
Tell me
not
a little
gelled
bit
yet.
about how you'd approach that.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, I mean, if you were to take that, you would start off by probably identifying that in the headline specifically. So, and it's just how Bryn said it. I mean, that's a perfect way to start a headline is who you want to attract by just saying that. So the elements of the headline is who you help, how you help them, sometimes the services you provide, and the results you bring, depending on how that fits within the 220 characters. But I mean, definitely always have the who you help and how you help them. And so for this particular one, when it comes to the people who you're trying to network with, you identify those people within the headline, a little bit more generically, because you can build that out farther down in the profile. But it's always reassuring that when someone lands on a profile, that they know that they're in the right place, and that probably the best place to start building that kind of feeling is in the headline.
Love that. Great. So that's, yeah, it's fun. A lot of times when we're doing this live, I'm learning from you on new ideas and new thoughts, and vice versa. Like, this is a little selfish for me, because now I've got this whole now area to start collaborating with you on, because I think that's really
Yeah.
important. I love that.
Yeah,
Love
that sounds cool. Love that. Absolutely love that. So we've already gone through identifying referral sources. The next one probably hits the people who you already have in your network a little more directly, and that's just viewing and searching your clients as well as your general connections for people who they might want who you might want to have an introduction to, whether that's another networking partner or possibly even a client. And that can get kind of sticky depending on what type of business you're in, but absolutely for networking partner referrals.
So, yeah, so let's elaborate on that a little bit. So, taking inventory of our first degree connections, I think that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, we can actually search our first degree connections on LinkedIn. We can export our connections into a CSV or Excel file from LinkedIn and take inventory. And we can identify. I heard you say prospects with like question mark. I might refrain, because what happens with B2C, and I
Yeah.
know we're like kind of talking this through.
Right.
But when it's B2C, what we tend to do then is pitch these folks
Right.
when it's a B2C play. But this is where we can start identifying our strategic partners that we're already connected to that might be able to make some introductions on our behalf, or give us even permission to name drop.
Yeah.
So I think there's a really good opportunity in there. But the key is, from what I heard you say, is we've got to take inventory of our existing connections. Who are we already connected to that we should be talking to?
Yeah.
And I did not look at the list, so I may be jumping ahead, so stop me. Are we on this list? Is there ask your clients who their trusted advisors are?
No, there
Okay.
isn't, and that's a
And
really good. Looking to up your LinkedIn game? The Social Sales Link team has you covered with our LinkedIn Sales Accelerator, a guided social selling program that includes training, coaching, and so much more. Visit socialsaleslink.com/in for more details. Again, that's socialsaleslink.com/in. What to bring up? You know you're not jumping ahead.
Okay.
It's a yes
Bob
and
is
moment
the
for yourself.
producer of the show, but I definitely am like squirrel. So, so one of the things that we should do in the same, we identify all your clients that you're connected to, and ask them, who's your CPA, if you're a financial advisor, right? Who's your CPA? Who's your estate attorney? Who has helped you with X, right? So once you've identified those potential referral partners, make sure that you are meeting the centers of influence that are connected to your existing clientele. There's a couple reasons behind this. And Bob and I teach this often in coaching. We teach this in coaching, which ultimately is you ask that trusted advisor for a conversation. So I reach out, Mr. CPA, you and I both work with Bob Woods. He's been such a great client. I thought it made sense for us to connect and have a brief conversation. I like to know the trusted advisors of all my clients. If you're open to a brief call just to get to know each other, that would be awesome. Would be great, right? He's not going to say no, or she's not going to say no, because we have this shared client and she wouldn't want it getting back to him that she ghosted me. So the chances of you starting those conversations are pretty high. So just like throw that out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this next one actually builds on what we've been talking about, but it's also going to loop back to what we're talking about. And it sounds simple, but there are layers to it. So connecting with everyone you meet. So networking event, if you're just out and about, whatever, wherever, doesn't really matter. Connect with everyone you meet on LinkedIn, because what happens when you connect with them, and after they accept your connection, obviously, you can then do everything that we've just talked about. And you can even do that while you're getting to know them better. We can go out and have coffee again. Wow. That's a concept. So, yeah, I mean, meet them out for coffee or whatever. It doesn't really matter, lunch, but, as you're getting to know them, if it feels right to do so, start asking them about some of their partners and do everything that Brent and I just talked about. But expanding your network is really important in B2C.
So I'm going to throw something out that we taught during the shutdown that you could do today still. Yeah. You meet a financial, maybe you get an introduction from your client into the CPA. I'm just going to stick with that example.
Yep.
And we want, there's an agreement that we'll have a conversation. Send them a $5 Starbucks gift card and say, hey, this coffee's on me, even though it's remote. it's kind of fun, right? Looking forward to having a conversation, Zoom and coffee. This cup's on me.
Yep.
So pretty interesting. We do have, let's see, a quick little Paul Bennett, networking, spontaneous connections, good to polish your elevator pitch and have business cards at the ready. Now, I'm going to say I do have business cards. When Bob and I both worked at People Links, they had the most amazing business cards. So when we came back to Social Sales Link, we want these great cards because they feel good and I never use them. I don't.
Yeah.
When I'm out and about, I am using the LinkedIn app and I'm connecting with people on the spot. And I will have a quick copy and paste message that says, great meeting you tonight at XYZ networking meeting. I'm looking forward to continuing our conversation. You can use it as short code or a copy and paste. And I send them a personal message. Here's the other cool thing. I don't know about you, but when I'm overwhelmed with a lot of people, I'll introduce myself and then I forget their name in 30 seconds. If they have a name tag, great. But a lot of times they don't. And you're like, oh, what was her name? What was her name? By saying, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. And you scan,
You got it.
So it's kind of a name hack as well, right? So I truly agree with you so much on that statement, Bob. Connect with everyone you meet and you talk to. I've connected with people in the grocery store line. I've connected with people out walking my dog. And I don't have business cards, but I have my phone and the app. So
100%, 100%. So next, let's talk really quick about nurturing with content as well as in engaging. So we talk about stuff like this all the time in all of our other podcasts. But we talk about it in the B2B sense. Guess what? You can do essentially the same thing with B2C. You can still pump out content about specifically educating about what you do. The only difference is that now when you're going with more of a networking type of thing, you're educating the people who will hopefully be recommending you about exactly what you do. So they'll have a better idea. And not only that, if you publish something recently and somebody says, oh, I'm looking for so-and-so, your networking partner says, oh, I know just the person. And in fact, they published something very recently on LinkedIn. I'm going to forward it to you. That's just mind-blowing ideal. And then engage with other people as well. Engagement is very, very important especially with your networking partners, because at that point, their network gets to see who you are, and they may even click through to your profile. And because your profile is built in that resource type of way, they may even reach out to you directly. It's a circle. It's a circle.
I love that. And so I'm just gonna and that. The content that you're creating, let's say, is the 5 things every CPA should ask their advisor about their clients about their life insurance coverage. And I don't know that that's good, but that's the concept, right? 3 reasons the CPA, the state attorney, how about the CPA, the state attorney, and financial advisor walk into a bar? No, let's go.
That would be an interesting joke to ask ChatGPT to make a joke based on that.
All right, I'm giving you that assignment. You're the
okay. That's
man.
Fine. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah,
you're the
right away.
In case you guys don't know, Bob is hysterical. It doesn't always come across when he's in professional mode, but man, hang out with him and he will have you laughing in your pants. I almost said, but anyway, yeah. So, but at the end of the day, in all of this, I think it really comes down to exactly what you said: is we need to educate our target audience. The interesting thing is, if our prospect got there, they may say, "Hey, my financial advisor isn't talking about these things." So it will not in any way hurt direct business, right? Yep. It won't, because they see, and they also see that you work closely with their other trusted advisors.
Yeah.
So they feel comfortable. It's just so many great reasons why.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to learn more about just nurturing and content and engagement with things like that, you can go back to any of our previous episodes and just know that even though we're talking about B2B, there is plenty of really good, valuable material that you can pull out of those episodes and really just use for yourself being in B2C. And we also have our library of content, our free library, which is at socialsaleslink.com/library. If you're with us live right now, you can see the URL on your screen. If you're on the podcast, just go to socialsaleslink.com/library, sign up for it, 100% free, all kinds of resources in there about what we've been talking about today and so much more.
Awesome. Well, I had fun, Bob.
I did too. And I hope that this newer audience of B2C people had as well. Just keep in mind that even though we talk B2B, so much of what we discuss here can be used by B2C as well. Don't feel excluded just because you're B2C and yada, 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 and everything else. We love our B2C peeps. If you even have questions or comments if you're with us live and you have questions or comments that are B2C oriented during a show, please put them in the comments. We will answer anything and everything that comes in.
And if it's after the show or you're listening to some podcast, by joining socialsaleslink.com/library, there's a community where Bob, Stan, and I are alerted every time there's a question, and totally free, and we can answer it there too.
100%. That's another great, valuable, and free resource that you can tap into as well. So thanks.
One more thing I want to say, another yes and. You're so inspiring me today, Bob. I want to flip the coin on what you said and say everything we talked about B2C today also applies to B2B.
B2B. Yep. 100%. 100%. We're all just a big hat family, people. Let's just embrace each other.
Yep. Oh, you are welcome, Paul. Thanks us.
You are welcome, Paul. Paul says thank you for today. You're very welcome. So thanks again for joining us on Making Sales Social Live. If you're with us live on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or X, Twitter, whatever it is right now, we do this live every week. So keep an eye out for our live sessions. Are you listening to us on our podcast? Feel free to hit that subscribe or follow button if you haven't done so already to access all of our previous shows and be alerted when new ones drop. If you'd like more info on our podcast, it's at socialsaleslink.com/podcast. We do 2 shows weekly, this one and our Making Sales Social interview series, where we talk with leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and many, many more areas. So when you are out and about, no matter what, if you're in B2B or B2C or whatever it is you do in sales, just make sure that your sales are
social.
Thanks, everybody. Don't miss an episode. Visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. Register for free resources at linkedinlibrary.com. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.